Marcus woke up at 5 a.m. every day for 2 years. Not occasionally, not when he felt like it. Every single day. Cold shower, gym, 1 hour of journaling and reading before work. He meal prepped every Sunday. He tracked his sleep. He had a morning routine that productivity influencers would post about. And at the end of those 2 years, he had slightly better abs, a lot of journal entries, and the exact same bank account he started with. Same job, same apartment, same financial ceiling. Just more disciplined about bumping into it. This is the part nobody tells you about discipline. It's not enough. We've been sold an incomplete story. The story goes like this. Discipline equals results. Wake up early, work hard, stay consistent, and success will follow. It sounds right. It feels right. Motivational speakers build entire careers on it. But here's what that story leaves out. A car engine running at full power inside a garage doesn't take you anywhere. Discipline is the engine. Direction is knowing where the garage door is. And here's the brutal truth. Most people never find the door. They just make the engine louder. Think about the people you know who are always grinding, always busy, always talking about their routine, their habits, their next goal. Now, ask yourself honestly, how many of them are actually getting somewhere? How many are financially better off year over year in a visible, meaningful way? Because being busy and making progress are not the same thing. Our brains are not wired to tell the difference. Motion feels like momentum. Activity feels like achievement. We confuse the sensation of effort with the result of effort. And while that confusion feels harmless, it has a price. A financial price most people never actually calculate.
Economists have a term for this, opportunity cost. Every hour you spend on something has a hidden cost, the value of what you could have done instead. We apply this thinking to investments, to career choices, but almost never to our habits. If you spend 2 years being disciplined about waking up early, journaling, and running, but none of that effort is pointed at something that compounds financially, you haven't just stood still. You've paid a price in time, energy, and focus that could have been directed somewhere that actually builds your financial life. I want to be clear. I'm not saying those habits are worthless. A healthy body, a clear mind, these things matter. But when discipline becomes a substitute for financial direction, you end up with great routines and no wealth. Busy schedules and empty savings, high productivity scores and low net worth.
There's a pattern I keep seeing. Someone reads Atomic Habits or watches a David Goggins clip and they get fired up. They build a rigorous routine. And then they direct all of that disciplined energy straight into their existing life, their existing job, their existing patterns. They optimize the execution of the wrong game entirely. It's like training for a marathon when you signed up for a cycling race. You will be incredibly fit for the wrong event. So what does direction actually mean? Because this is where most advice gets vague and useless. Find your purpose. Align with your values. Great. Helpful? Thanks. Let me give you something more concrete. Direction, as I'm defining it, has 3 components. All 3 need to be present. If even one is missing, you're probably doing advanced level running in place. The first is a measurable outcome. Not, I want to be wealthy. Not, I want to build a business. Those are wishes. A measurable outcome sounds like this. I want to generate $3,000 per month from a source that isn't my salary. Specific. Countable. You'll know the moment you hit it. The second is a time constraint. This forces your brain to reverse engineer the path. Saying in 18 months changes how you think about every single week between now and then. Without a deadline, a goal is just a dream with ambition attached. The third, and this is the one most people skip, is a feedback loop. A scheduled, recurring moment where you ask, is what I'm actually doing pointing toward where I said I want to go? Monthly, weekly, whatever fits. Without this, you can be disciplined toward the wrong thing for years without realizing it. And some people do exactly that.
Marcus had none of these. He had incredible process discipline, but zero outcome direction. He was optimizing his mornings without ever asking. Optimizing toward what exactly? When he finally sat down and built a measurable outcome, specifically learning a skill that would let him freelance and eventually replace his salary, everything changed. Not immediately, not easily, but the discipline he already had, it finally had somewhere to go. 2 years after that conversation, Marcus left his job. Not because discipline saved him, because direction gave his discipline something to build. That's the distinction I want you to carry out of this video. Discipline without direction is expensive suffering. It costs you time, energy, and years of compounding you'll never get back. But discipline with direction, that's the actual formula. That's what separates the people who are always working on themselves from the people who are quietly, methodically building a different life. You probably already have more discipline than you think. The question is, where is it pointed? If this hit different, the next video goes deeper on the second half of this problem. Why most people, when they finally try to set direction, pick the wrong target. And why it almost always comes down to one specific blind spot. Subscribe if you want to catch that one. I'll see you there.